Hello YouTube, it's Lynn from Perth in WA again. This is the first day in, I don't know, maybe 10 days that I've been able to actually get out and feed my orchids because we've been living in 40 plus degree heat and it's just been impossible, and also you can't feed orchids in that heat. You're just likely to kill them. So today I've got no idea what the temperature is, but it's about 30 degrees out here, I think. So I decided to come out and do some watering, and everything's sort of a bit wet. There's the stats for this part of the grow area, 30 degrees and what's that, 30% humidity. And a little bit further down I've got 30 and I don't know, this one always reads more, 60%. Don't know how accurate that is because it's only like 1.5 meters apart. Anyway, there's got to be between the two, hasn't it? So, yes, everything's been taken down, watered. The babies have had a feed. Those I can feed because they go in the hot box, and I can actually feed them and put them back because the temperature's controlled a bit more in there. And it's laundry day for the mounts, so they're all hanging up. But primarily this is a Cymbidium Colab video, so we won't go into all the other stuff. So I just brought 2 down, and there they are, all hanging up there with a couple of Stanhopes mucked in. They're not in good condition because of the heat. And to give you a close-up, you can see what I'm talking about. Just have a look at this. I really should have brought this one down weeks ago. So today I'll give it a trim. I'll cut off all those burnt areas. I'll get a longer hook and have it hanging a lot lower. I'll probably need to do that with the majority of them, I guess. But it's not flowering time yet for Cymbidiums in Australia. It's just growing time. Our flowering time is sort of in the winter, and we're right dead smack bang in the middle of summer at the moment. So a few months off flowering at least. But I've got quite a few up there and they are doing well. Now, I am a member of our local Cymbidium club, and I had to go and join it because I didn't know how to flower my cymbids, and I still don't, despite the fact that I've been in it about 5 years. And it's really climate. As you can see, when I try and give them what they need, which is sunshine, this is what happens. They're under about 50% shade cloth, which should be okay for them. But normally, under this amount of shade cloth, they're not flowering for me. That's why I've actually put them up higher. I don't know if you can see that, but they are right up at the shade cloths. And I'm going to go towards the sunlight, if I can find it. Oh. Yeah, where you see the shade on the left-hand side corner. Today's actually a cloudy day, which is why I'm out here feeding. But it's just not good for them, just not a good climate. They prefer the eastern states where it's much cooler, and they do far better over there. But we in WA, we love our Sims, and we have lots of Sim shows, so we've got to try. But in a nutshell, they just like 6 hours of sunlight a day, direct light, under 50%, and more if you can give it. Mostly because of my situation, the way my house faces, they get light or good sunlight sort of from mid-morning to late afternoon. So they get that midday heat, which is not good for them. I don't have any shade apart from shade cloth over those really, really hot days where only mad dogs and Englishmen, and being an English woman, yes, my Sims are out in it. Anyway, there's not really much I can tell you about because they're not flowering. I've got a few different ones. There's a couple of species in there, right in the middle. There's mainly I go for this type, the smaller type, which are pendant, and they have pendant flowers. I'm not into the big tall ones. That one's quite tall. I don't know, I've not seen it flower, but probably it will get sold once I do see it. And this is what I just want to do. I just want to see them bloom, and then they're all going on the sales bench, apart from my pendant or pendulous ones, and I'm right into Pelorics. I've got about 3 or 4 Pelorics, and I just love them. But it's getting them to bloom to even see which ones they are, because like most people, I lose my tags. So a lot of them are not ID'd. The tags are sitting in my cupboard waiting for them to bloom so I can put the labels back into them. So not a terribly informative video from me at this time of the year. All we have to do now really is make sure that they're kept moist, fed as much as we can, because they are really voracious feeders. You need to get those pseudobulbs big, and I mean big, because the bigger your pseudobulbs, the more flowers you're going to produce. But it's very hard in this heat to be feeding them the way they need to be fed at this time of the year. One thing I do to help them bloom, and apart from giving them a high potassium feed a couple of months before their blooming time, I'm giving them really cold water at night. When I water these plants in the heat, the water that comes through the bottom of the pot, I could actually bath in. It's that warm, it's hot. So I have to cool that down. So they get chilled water at night, which is a pain in the neck coming out here because it's full of mosquitoes. I get bitten galore. But I have to give them what they need, which is cold water in the evening. And we do that for about 3 weeks, sort of at the end of December through January, so that's coming towards an end anyway. So sorry I can't give you a lot more information than what I'm doing. Maybe when we get to blooming time, there'll be a lot more to show you. But in the meantime, I have to get the secateurs out, trim these dead leaves off, or these burnt leaves off, and just give them some TLC. So that's all for me now. I have to put these babies back in the box. They've had their wash and they're dry. And I have a few blooms out. A couple of things. My pride and joy at the moment is a little Laturia. This one here, little green apples. Oh, and I've got a really pretty bulbophyllum. This is Cymbidium. Rather a sweet little thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to wind it up now. I've got to remember to try and how to upload this. This is another thing with my channel, because I know I'm rarely posting anything these days, and it's because I can't remember how to do it. I'm a bit of an old bint now, and I just don't have the memory and the tech anymore. It's just going, it's disappearing. So now I've got to struggle to find the way to upload this. So if we get there, we get there. If we don't, you miss out. All right then, say goodbye for now. Bye.